Hello and what is going on, lovely people of the internet? It is HOOTMONEY here with another video for you guys today. Today we're going to be talking about Workhorse and basically what to expect into this next trading week with Workhorse. So Workhorse is one of the most, if not the most highest shorted stock at over 50% of its float being shorted, and it is definitely primed for a short squeeze, and I will be showing that to you guys today. Now we're going to have some more information on social sentiment and volume later in the video. However, most of this video we're going to just be going over some of the same things that we've talked about in my previous Workhorse video. So if you already saw my previous video on Workhorse, feel free to skip around the video and see some of the new information that I'm talking about towards the end of the video. With all that being said, if you guys enjoy all of these updates, I'd highly appreciate if you left me that early like on the video. Liking the video is the #1 thing you can do to help out a small creator like myself on this platform. And yeah, with that being said, let's get right into the video. Alright, so there's 3 things that I just want to go over real quick before actually talking about Workhorse itself, and that is market cap, float, so shares outstanding for float, and short interest. So those are what I think are the 3 things to get massive returns in a short squeeze opportunity, and I think Workhorse satisfies all these requirements. I'm going to be comparing it to AMC as well. Here on FinViz, you can see that the market cap for Workhorse is $1.86 billion. Then we take a look at the shares float, and it's just over 100 million shares available to be traded. Typically, a low float stock is a stock that is considered less than 100 million shares available to be traded. So this is a very low to medium float stock in my opinion, and we're going to compare that to AMC. For AMC, there's a market cap of 21.48 billion. That is an 11.5 times higher market cap than that of Workhorse. A stock that has a higher market cap requires more capital inflow in order to raise the price. So if AMC were to get an additional $1.86 billion injected into their market cap through buying pressure, that would raise the share price of AMC only 8.6%. Now with Workhorse, if Workhorse were to get an additional $1.86 billion in market cap injected into its current market cap, then Workhorse's price would go up by 100%. Now that combined with a much lower float on Workhorse means that Workhorse would shoot up much faster, as there are less shares available to be traded. If there's a less supply, so simple economics, supply and demand, less supply would mean that the price would go up faster than that of a stock that has a higher float. So with less capital required to push up Workhorse's share price, combined with the fact that it has a much lower float than other stocks that have a high short interest, the potential for Workhorse to see enormous gains is much higher than that of other stocks like AMC, in my personal opinion. Now, while none of this is investing advice, and you can definitely see some huge losses if you buy Workhorse at these prices, as it is definitely a very risky stock to buy. With the recent momentum in stocks that have very high short interest, I definitely see Workhorse as being the strongest candidate. Pause. If you guys want up to $70 in free stock just for signing up and depositing as little as $1, use the link in the description or in the pinned comment section to sign up for Public.com. Public.com is an investing application with a very nice user interface. Very similar to that of Robinhood, but it doesn't have the same shady business practices that Robinhood has. It is also an investing social media, so you can follow people, including myself, at HOOTMONEY, and you can see my portfolio, what I'm invested in. You can also follow other people. They also have town halls with CEOs, so recently they had DraftKings CEO come on there, and you can ask him questions, which is awesome. No other investing application does that, and I really enjoy Public. I wouldn't talk about it if I didn't. So if you use that link in the the description to sign up, or in the pinned comment section, or if you just want to download the app and use code HOOTMONEY when you sign up, you get up to $70 in free stock, so you might as well do it. It's free money. And yeah, let's get back to the video. On top of what I already just explained, Workhorse has a 52% short interest, as you guys can see, and when we compare that to AMC has a 12% short interest. So the short interest on Workhorse is much higher than that of AMC. So taking into consideration market cap, shares available to be traded, which is the float of the stock, and short interest, everything seems to be set up much better for Workhorse than it is for AMC. So if we're thinking of this like a supply and demand curve, we just talked about the supply. It is much lower for that of Workhorse, and there's much higher short interest. Now we have to look at the demand side. There could be a much lower supply for Workhorse, but if there isn't enough demand, that won't push up the stock price as much as AMC if AMC has that much more demand for it. So in order to get an idea of the demand for Workhorse, we are going to be looking at a sentiment indicator for stocks that are mentioned on Reddit. So here you can see a live feed of stock discussion from Reddit, and it basically monitors the stock tickers that are mentioned the most on the platform. As you can see, Clean Energy Fuels is number 1. Then it's GameStop, then it's AMC, then it's Cleveland Cliffs, and then it is Workhorse. Now, I was not personally able to figure out what time period that they are using to come up with these numbers, to come up with this score right here, but in the top right corner, you can see they have 4 different indicators, which is popular, which we were just looking at, the 4 hours, so the recent 4 hours, and then the past hour. So if we tick on 4 hours, we can see that Workhorse is the second most mentioned stock in the last 4 hours, having a score of 772. And now Workhorse is above that of AMC. So I definitely think there's going to be more buying pressure from Workhorse in this coming week. Now right here, Workhorse has a score of 772 and AMC has a score of 722, and that is measuring the last 4 hours. But if we switch this to an hour, you can see that Workhorse has 204 mentions compared to AMC with 141 mentions. So what this shows to me is that as time is progressing, more people are talking about Workhorse. Now the time right now is 4:29 p.m. on Sunday, June 13th. So I'm going to be continuing to look and monitoring this to see if there are any big changes. Now right here you can see this is the FINRA's website. So this is basically when they report short interest figures, and these are the official exchange reported figures, not from Wkhs.com. What we've been looking at in the past are the figures from Wkhs.com, and those are basically estimates based off of the shares that are on loan, but they are not the official numbers of short shares. So if we scroll down here to the June time period, you can see that the settlement date is June 15th, so that is basically the end date, and that's going to be the date that they base these numbers off of. And the exchanges have 2 days from the settlement date to report these numbers. So on Thursday, June 17th, around 6 p.m., we should be getting some updated numbers on short interest. Now, these numbers are not the most accurate as they go back a few trading days. However, Wkhs will be able to get better predictions on short interest as they have these new reported exchange numbers. So we will definitely be looking at those on Thursday, so make sure you guys subscribe so you don't miss those videos in the future. Another interesting thing that I'm going to show you guys is this Reddit post. So this Reddit post is basically explaining how Citadel Securities has a short position on Workhorse. Now they're not just shorting the stock, they have a bearish straddle position, and this is a profit loss of a straddle position. I'll basically explain it. It's when you buy calls but you also buy puts, and in the case of Citadel, they have bought more puts than calls, which gives them exposure to the bearish side of Workhorse. Definitely look at Investopedia on the long straddle if you guys do want to learn more about that type of options position. However, it is a very complex trading strategy that I don't really recommend anyone do unless you are very advanced at options. So that's really all I have for the video for you guys today. I went over a bunch of different data, so don't even come crying to me saying that I'm saying some untrue things, because I am literally looking at data. So please don't come crying to me that I'm spreading FUD or whatever. I did not call Workhorse a meme stock in this video. I got some criticism on my last Workhorse video, and I agree. Workhorse is not a meme stock. A meme stock is a stock of a dying business for the most part that people are pumping up for no reason. Or it's something like the cow farting stock, like Clean Energy Fuels, where people love it because it is a stock about cow farting. Workhorse is genuinely a stock that many people do believe in, and though I think it may be fundamentally overvalued currently, I do think it is a serious company that is really transforming the EV space in commercial trucks. I currently have 7 call options that are expiring this week and the next week for Workhorse. So 6/18 and 6/25 are the current expiration dates, and they're far out of the money. They're like $30 a share. So most likely these call options are going to be expiring worthless, and I'm fully ready to lose my entire investment if Workhorse does not undergo a short squeeze. So if you guys are buying into Workhorse at these price levels, I strongly encourage you don't bet more than you're willing to lose, because this is definitely a high risk investment, and you have to know that before going into it. This is not a get rich quick scheme. We simply went over the numbers and we figured out that Workhorse is just set up way better than any other stock on the market right now. And if you disagree with that, feel free to leave a comment. I love it when you guys leave a comment. It doesn't matter if it's nice or mean, go for it. If I said anything that you disagree with in the video, make sure you leave a comment as well. I'm always here to learn more so I can do a better job at making these videos in the future. And with all of that being said, thank you guys for watching this video. I enjoyed making it as always, and yeah, that's about it. Peace.